Hey, everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise: t-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, tote bags, throw pillows. Great gift ideas. Go to Amazon.com, and coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also look under Amazon for the Mike Wagner Show podcast, and for more great gift ideas, including t-shirts, hoodies, and more great books by Mia Molson Zia. Go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson Zia and order today. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Also support us on with a generous gift on Anchor FM as well as PayPal, and make sure you do it today. He's back by popular demand, and he's got some great news out there. We had him on the show before. I mean, he's not just an impersonator. He is the real thing. And we're talking on the other side of the pond from beautiful Helsinki, Finland. And of course, he did Cloud 9, which we played before, and it's still running through my head. And of course, he was with Carmen Gray, and also some big news. He's been nominated for some awards, and also he's got a brand new album called The Life of Grant with the Impersonators. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios on the other side of the pond, ladies and gentlemen, backed by popular demand, the very multi-talented Tommi Tikka. Tommy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us once again.
Hey, great to be back, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you back. It's always a joy to have you on. It's like, I wish I could fly there and just have a little coffee with you. But
hey, man, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's right. And of course,
go ahead. One of us gets the private jet, right? That's when we'll make it happen.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You've been nominated for some awards as well, too. And, ready to take home the prize. And, of course, it could be gold, too. You never know. And you got a brand new album called The Life of Grant, which is by the Impersonators. You also won some awards as well, too. And we talked around Christmas time. You had a Christmas song. You also talked about some upcoming plans. And, of course, before we talk about The Life of Grant, tell us what's been happening between last time we talked on Christmas and up to 2021 by now.
Well, quite a lot. That was when the Christmas single came out, or a little bit before that. Then my solo venture, Tommi Tikka and the Missing Hubcaps, I released the solo EP in January, which did really well. And all throughout this, we knew that the Impersonators album was going to come out in late March, and worked feverishly to finish that. And I'm actually real happy with the way it turned out. And most of the January and February was basically I worked on the concept, because the concept album, the running order of tracks, I wanted to get it just right. And also, whoever's put an album together, there's all sorts of things. The the music video of the single Scarlet Hell, which then turned out to be another hit, and we decided to hold off on the music video and then sort of release it separately a couple of weeks after the album.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the artwork, promo shots. Everything had to be sort of pulled together, and we did a really nice digital booklet.
Nice.
Which had the lyrics and pictures, because the album's been in the making for 3 years. We wanted that then if somebody buys the album on iTunes and they download it, then they get this sort of multicolored, very cool digital booklet with the album. And also, to be really honest with you, I guess for ourselves as well, it's sort of celebrate the 3 years that it took to produce it, because whenever you're working on a concept that you need to get it right, you can't just record 10 songs and claim it's a concept album.
Hmm.
We did release quite a few of the tunes as singles because it was the only way we could keep it going. It's very, very, very pricey to start working on something like Life of Grant in the studio and do everything all in one sort of as a one sort of big project. So we had to do this piecemeal, but that's fine. Like I said, it worked out great, and that's really what I've been very preoccupied with.
Hmm. And tell us about the concept album, The Life of Grant, and since it's a concept album, from start to finish, and explain about the Life of Grant, especially in terms of a concept.
Well, I wanted to make an album to celebrate people like my dad, who was a merchant marine, and my godfather Bill, who was in the Marine Corps and in Vietnam, and served his country. And because there's a lot of albums out there, I think concept albums that celebrate this and that, and tell that story, this story, and whatever. But there's not a lot of albums out there that deal with men like my dad. It sort of these old school alphas that you know gave a lot, but asked for very little in return. Didn't make a big fuss about themselves. And Life of Grant is really more about what happened after these life altering experiences. Grant is a fictional character, but he's loosely based on my dad and my godfather, and there's a little bit of me in there as well.
Hmm. So sort of mixed in, right?
Yeah, sort of mixed in, because I wanted it to um, I wanted to get some of the stuff out that I've experienced, but also, you know, um, like my godfather, Grant forges his parents' signature when he's 17 to be able to join the Marines,
Mm.
and then travels the world like my dad, gets divorced, has problems in relationships like me, and so it's a mishmash, but it's a story of a guy who comes back from the horrors of Vietnam, and tries to adjust, but obviously back in those days nobody knew the concept of PTSD, and nobody helped these guys. They just had to figure it out themselves, and
Hmm.
everything that they did was affected by their experiences, and nobody really. There are a lot of movies out there, but they're always, focused on war and heroes and action and that sort of thing. I just wanted to talk about normal everyday life, somebody raking the leaves in the garden and trying to live a normal life after experiencing something like that.
Hmm. And it's really fascinating as well too that you're right when it came to Vietnam. They say coming out of war, even going back to like World War II, World War I, Korean War, Civil War, and they act different. They're like that's just the way it is. But now it's becoming taken more serious than ever, and of course, a lot of steps have taken as well too. And we talked about one of your hits as well too, Scarlet Hell, which unexpectedly it just hit like number 9 on the charts. So tell us more about that song. That's amazing.
Well, Scarlet Hell was it's kind of funny because it was recorded at the same time as Cloud Nine. They were like session one, session two, very back to back, and it was always a question. There were three songs: Rodeo, Scarlet Hell, and Cloud Nine. We sort of needed to figure out what comes out first
Hmm.
as a single, and Cloud Nine was the very first one to come out. Then Rodeo came out, and then the third one now with the album. Well, as the album was coming out, was Scarlet Hell, and that was really about. It was always going to be within the placed within the concept album towards the end, or it was going to be on the album towards the end. And it's about prostitution, and
Mm.
it's an anti-prostitution song. It's Grant, who was at this point, my dad was a merchant marine, And I met all his sailor buddies. And back in the 60s, when these guys were sailing around the globe, needless to say, um, prostitution was part of that. These guys
Oh
visit,
yeah,
these guys definitely visit prostitutes. I'm not
can
going to get
imagine.
into it. Yeah. And as a young kid, and you have your dad and his sailor buddies, and they're drinking, listening to music, kicking back and remembering what life was like at sea. And you're 10 and you're listening to it. You hear a story or two, if you know
Oh
what
my
I mean.
gosh.
But the Scarlet Hell is basically about Grant. Again, we're back now. This is the fictional character. Goes and after his divorce, basically decides that he'll turn to a prostitute for sex, and goes in, but then decides he's not going to do it because for the first time in his life, he's old enough to understand what all is entailed. It's the injustices, criminal criminal activity, human trafficking, everything. And instead of doing anything with the girl, he decides to help her. It's part of the story, part of the script, which I also
Oh.
wrote for that whole thing. um and that's basically the bit where Scarlet Hell comes in. That's Grant's visit with the prostitute. And the lyrics really tell the story of him
Mm-hmm.
consoling the girl who really doesn't want to be there, and for the first time in his life he understands what a serious issue he's actually dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's a really fascinating song too. Hitting number 9. You also have Burning Blue as well too, which is off the Life of Grant album. And tell us more about that one.
Well, Burning Blue was basically originally this that's actually the the song that kind of started the whole concept. It was written for to console a friend who had lost his wife to cancer. And then my dad was he sadly he passed away a couple of years ago. But when I
I'm so
wrote
sorry.
Burning Blue, he was, yeah, man, it's awful. My dad had just been diagnosed with cancer back then when I wrote Burning Blue. And so Burning Blue is basically is about a guy, Grant, walking around aimlessly, trying to figure out what's happened in his life. He's in the story, he's lost his first wife, and he really doesn't know where to go. So instead of just staying home, he goes to all these coffee shops that they used to frequent together, and kind of consoles himself in the song. And that's the bit of the album where it's a low point for Grant, but slowly but surely things are starting to take off. And
Mm-hmm.
instead of making bad decisions like he did a lot before Burning Blue, it's kind of weird to talk about the album in terms of the songs because there's a whole story that I've written. But after that point, the decisions that he makes, that they're the great ones. And instead of sort of sinking any lower, his life begins again. Cloud nine is when he meets his second wife and then lives happily ever after with her. So
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the best tunes out there as well too. You also have Effigy, Rodeo, Circus, and tell us about some of the songs. And if you have some other songs you want to talk about from the Life of Grant album, feel free to do so.
well, effigy, if you listen to, there's a lot of um effects, rain, thunder, sound effects. It's about the horrors of war, being in the jungle, seeing corpses of people
Mm-hmm.
hanging from the trees. And it's sort of a it's not a very pleasant song, to be honest with you. But it's you needed that in that very spot. Circus is more or less about, when we're young, we have dreams, and we sort of decide what we're going to be, and then reality happens. We get married, we have kids, mortgage, 100 dogs, 2,000 houses, and you know the drill.
Oh
And
yeah.
anyway, a lot of responsibility, and a life becomes a circus. And so in the circus, once again, Grant is trying to, you know, find his place in the society. And instead of finding the type of happiness that he thought he'd find, he finds responsibility, things that bring him down. His first marriage is not very happy. He's lost. He doesn't have work. And so in the song, he's just saying goodbye circus, because he wants to take a vacation from his own life, or leave it, just start over, which he does then. But Circus is that turning point on the album.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And,
And
and
yeah,
and go ahead if you have more. Feel free to do so.
no, it's basically, to sum it all up, Rodeo is the song that kicks off the album, and that's Grant's first heartbreak. He gets dumped for another guy, which is why he forges his parents' signature, joins the Marines, experiences the horrors of war, comes back, his life becomes circus, he gets divorced, you know, just kind of gets lost. He loses his way, but then finds his way back again. And in Cloud Nine, he finds happiness. In Goldfish Blues, which is the last track on the album, is him being old, with his wife Charlotte, and they live in San Francisco, and you know, love each other, have a great life. So I wanted to end it happily.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
think it
that's
needed.
the best thing too about Life of Grant. And where can we find the Life of Grant at?
Well, it's every streaming platform. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, all over the internet. It's kind of weird. All streaming services. That's how you release stuff these days.
Okay, well that's very good. We'll have you play Burning Blue and also Scarlet Hell to wrap up the show, and we'll talk about some more big news. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time for official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those who love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And check out the Mike Wagner Show on Amazon, Amazon.com, under the Mike Wagner Show podcast for t-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. And coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com for more merchandise and for more great gift ideas, including great books by me and Molson Zia. Go to Amazon.com/me and Molson Zia. And to support the program, please give generously to the MikeWagnerShow.com under donate, and also support us on Anchor FM and PayPal. And make sure you do it today. We work very hard and really appreciate it. We're here, a singer-songwriter, very multi-talented Tommi Tikka of the impersonator here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we have you play one of your songs, Burning Blue, we like to congratulate a nomination for Best Rock Band at the ISSA, the International Singer Songwriter Awards. And also, you've been nominated for 8 categories. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Okay.
that was a pleasant surprise.
All right,
Yeah.
and tell us more about the nominations as well too, especially for your group. And 8 of them, it's like that's got to be a record for you.
Well, it's a record for me, for sure. It's just, I don't know how much there's to tell. Just I'm very, very honored. I think it's fantastic to get that sort of recognition, and if that's why I play, that's why I write. If something that I write moves folks, then I've accomplished my goal. So
Mm-hmm.
very happy, very pleased.
And what are the categories that you're nominated for?
To be honest with you, I don't remember. The best album, the best band, rising male star, I think, and the songwriter of 2020. And I don't remember all the categories, to be honest with you. Some of them are very closely related. I have them. I mean, I have them there, but I just um just very pleased.
That's perfectly okay. And we're going to soon call you award-winning singer-songwriter. And let's go have you play one of your
Let's
hits.
hope so.
What's that?
Let's hope so, man.
We're not gonna put a jinx on you. And so right
No.
now, here's Tommi Tikka with "Burning Blue" in the Mike Wagner Show. Tommy, take it away for us.
All right. I saw buildings flashing by in a dream of you and I, so real. Through the city in the night, blinded by the neon lights, we're real. By the river and the fair, there was music in the air. I hear, baby, all the world was mine. I was king and life was kind, supreme. Ah, I'm burning blue. Ah, I'm burning blue. Then I lost you in the crowd. You were nowhere to be found. A tear couldn't reach where you had been. Summer, winter, fall, and spring. A year. It was us against the world, baby. Nothing seemed to hurt. Oh dear, darling, everything was new. The wicked morning sun was cool to me. Ah, I'm burning blue. Ah, I'm burning blue. No matter if the world came falling down, no matter if there was no one around, no matter if I'm blue and missing you, my mind would always keep on burning blue. Oh yeah, I'm burning blue. I'm burning blue. Oh, I'm burning blue. Oh, I'm burning blue. Baby, don't you know I'm burning blue? Baby, don't you know you're burning too? Baby, don't you know I'm burning blue? Baby, don't you know you're burning too?
That is amazing. "Burning Blue" by Tommi Tikka and Impersonators. That's a great song. Where can we find that?
Once again on all the streaming platforms, and yeah, I'm sure it's on it's on a couple of sites where you can actually download the MP3s as well. Although I doubt that nobody does that anymore.
Well, everybody streams these days. Seems like MP3s and everything else is almost like
Yeah,
passe. And I mean, what's next for streaming? We're not sure. And speaking of what's next, what's
man.
coming up for Tommi Tikka and the Personators? We'll find out in just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the amazing Tommi Tikka of Tommi Tikka and Impersonators after this timeout. We're back with singer, songwriter, multi-talented, and nominated for 8 awards, Tommi Tikka of Tommi Tikka and Impersonators here on the Mike Wagner Show. A very big thank you for your time, Tommy. It's always terrific. And just a couple more things. What else can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Tommy?
Well, it's going to be a busy year. We have the Impersonators, Life of Grants being promoted now, and and we're basically still very busy working with that. But also, what I've completed a solo. I've just finished recording a solo album that's going to come out in September or early or late September. The first single is going to come out in June, and then the second one in August. So basically, there'll be a whole other album before the year is out, and that's going to be with the Hubcaps, and that'll still keep me busy. Hopefully, the impersonators are going to be back then in 2022. But I
Wow.
think starting June, the rest of the year will be dedicated to Tom Tikka and the Missing Hubcaps.
That
I'm
is
really
very
pleased, by the way, with that album turned out real well as well. I'm super stoked.
and that's very amazing. You've got a great thing going. Just don't stop. And then lastly, lastly that where can we find your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase and get a hold of your music? And is there anything else you like to add before I have you play the last song of the night here?
Well, I mean, if you go to www.tomtika.com, um, that's basically where you can find all my solo stuff and what's happening with the missing hubcaps. And then if you go to impersonatorsmusic.com, that not the impersonators, but just impersonatorsmusic.com. That's the site for the impersonators, and these sites will have everything, even probably more than you want to know or need to know. They've got a lot of stuff, and then iTunes is, I think, the best place if somebody wants to purchase the music. It's there. And also, in terms of Life of Grant, I think in June the digital booklet will be available there as well. And so, if you're going to buy the album, go there, because then you're going to get the digital booklet as well. when
we
so
and we
that's
certainly
cool.
do so. And how'd you like to play one more song for us before we wrap up? We'd love to have back on 2021. And how about one more song before we go?
Yeah, I'll play Scarlet Hell, and a sort of a different rendition.
Mm.
And so this is the way I wrote it, actually. It wasn't going to be a Latin influence thing to begin with, but sort of a more ballad like. Anyway, so here's Scarlet Hell. Bloodshot, tired, broken eyes seduce you with the crimson smile. You fantasize. She'll let you know just how she feels if there's a moment left to steal. About her days under the spell of scarlet hell, with each and every twist of fate, you wish that you could just awake, free her from the evil spell of scarlet hell. Broken mirrors, walls of red. There ain't no covers, ain't no covers on her bed. She'll make you sweat, she'll make you sweat, baby. She'll let you know just how she feels if there's a moment left to steal. About her days under the spell of scarlet hell, with each and every twist of fate, you wish that you could just awake, free her from the evil spell of scarlet hell. She'll run her fingers through your heart, and she'll paint the walls in blood. But you know just how she feels if there's a moment left to steal about her days under the spell of Scarlet. Hell, with each and every twist of fate, you wish that you could just awake and free her from the evil spell of Scarlet Hell. She's never gonna be yours, so stop dreaming. She's got a frosty nose, that's how it goes, yeah.
That is amazing. Scarlet Hell from Tommi Tikka and the Impersonators on the Mike Wagner Show. Again, Tommy, very big thank you for your time. You're always amazing. You're welcome back anytime. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. I love you back on in 2021. And make sure you keep in touch. I mean, you just always fascinating.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on the show. This is always such a big thrill for me, man. And well, like I said, when we get those jets, man, we're gonna cross the Atlantic, right, to have that cup of coffee.